Hey sports fans, welcome back to the full show. Just doing a little video about Michigan versus Central Florida. It was an interesting basketball matchup today. If you just saw the end score, you really didn't know how the game really went. It wasn't really indicative of how much of a challenge there was for Michigan. The final score 80-58. Michigan really put the hammer down from the middle of the first half to the last 4 minutes of the game, really. It was in the first half, well, the key here, Franz Wagner got his second foul at the under 16-minute mark. He got a charge, and then he got a defensive foul. And from that point on, for the next 6 minutes or so, Central Florida just took it to Michigan. Michigan just was out of sorts. They didn't have a good rotation going, and it was a problem. And at that point, Central Florida was leading 25-13. But from the 9:18 mark, Michigan just changed. You had the bench players really come in and play great. You had Brandon Johns come in and make some really good hustle plays. Brown did a lot of good hustle plays throughout the whole game. Freshman Williamson, came in, did some great stuff. He finished with 8 points in the first half. Dickinson had 8 points in the first half. Shandy Brown had 7 points in the first half. They completely helped turn this game around. This game was crazy. You would never know when Michigan scored 80 points that Livers only finished with 5, and he didn't score his first points of the game till 6:16 to go in the game. He was just a non-factor throughout the whole game. He, gets some rebounds, a block here or there, but when you're averaging 20 points a game and you have 0 points through 6 minutes, till 6 minutes to go in the game, that's just crazy. And so Michigan really turned it around, and it was the hustle. It was on defense. Shandy Brown is just leading this team off the bench. He's doing a great job. Don't get me wrong, Dickinson's doing great too. But Shandy Brown, he's just the effort guy. He's the one that's going out on the wings, and he can nail a three, and he can hit that mid-range jump shot. And it's just great seeing him and his acceptance and thriving of the sixth man on the team. Again, I really do have to question why Juwan Howard is starting Davis instead of Dickinson. Dickinson's getting way more minutes, don't get me wrong. He's playing as many minutes as he should. I just think Dickinson should start the game. But it is what it is, I guess. Maybe he likes having the scoring through the middle of the first half and such when you're resting Livers and Wagner. So, really, 25-13 with about 9 minutes to go in the first half. Michigan ends up going on a 63-21 run till under the 4 minutes to go in the game. At that point, Michigan was leading by 30 points right there. Michigan then ends up putting the bench in, and the bench just kind of fumbled away, missed several layups, had a few turnovers. And speaking of turnovers, Michigan only had one real turnover in the first half. They had 3 offensive fouls. For the game, they finished with 10 turnovers. One of those came in the garbage time from the bench. So having only 9 turnovers for the game before the bench came in is really good job for Michigan, having a much better ball security and making better adjustments comparatively to having 13 last game and 20. I think it was the game before that against Oakland. So, much better ball security. And UCF, they forced Auburn to, I think, 22 turnovers in their first game. So, that's really good for Michigan. Hopefully they can get the ball security issues figured out and keep that going forward. Again, just crazy how this game went. The defense just was completely different after that first 10-ish minutes. They held Central Florida to 12 points through 16 minutes of the second half. Again, the scrubs came in and they gave up 12 points in the last 4 minutes to make it 24 points in the second half. But for that last 4 minutes, it was only 12 points for Central Florida in the second half. So, a lot better job of playing your D. I love how Dickinson plays defense. He can just go there. He's 7'2". He can just raise his arms. He doesn't have to jump. He can just rotate. He shifts his feet. He's looking great. I know it's only the 4th game of the year, but he's looking really good. I just like the makeup of this team. So, overall, great win. wonderful comeback. I mean, when I was watching this 25-13, like, oh no, like Michigan's not hitting any shots. And Michigan does have to get better at 3 points. They're getting good shots. They're just not hitting them. I think they shot just a 9 of 27 on 3-pointers. I think Shonda Brown hit over half of those. I mean, like, so, Johns hit 1. I think Brooks hit 2. So it's just, we got to get better at shooting threes. You can't shoot that low from 33% and expect to win in the Big Ten. But, hey, another non-conference win. Not sure about the NC State game happening on Wednesday, I think it is. They have a COVID little thing going on there. They had to postpone their last game, so we'll see if Michigan gets to play their last non-conference game. Penn State would be next Sunday, I believe. So we'll see how that goes. Michigan's looking good offensively. Hopefully they can keep it going. And, I love how the bench is playing. The bench is just playing great. And that's just really being an uplifting thing to the team. It's great when livers can go scoreless for 16 minutes of the game. Or not 16, like 24 minutes of the game. And you still are doing a great job. It's not even that much time. My math is way wrong. He scored with 6 minutes to go in the game. Anyways, it's great that Livers had a terrible game and Michigan still scored 80 points. So that's big building blocks, giving some confidence that if people aren't playing good, we have the talent that can rise up and take over a game and sustain a win. So, cool. Hey, sorry about the little long run there on my words and such, but just my thoughts. If you have any comments, please let me know below. As always, I appreciate the views and the subscribes. And thanks to all of my new subscribers. And until I see you guys again, go blue.